You never look at a Dil Chahta Hai or a Zindagi Na Milegi Dobara. This Zindagi Na Milegi is Dil Chahta Hai is Sholay. Sholay is because we never think like that because we're okay with. हमें लगता है कि if it's a male-centered film, if it's a hero-centric film, that is what she does. Kareena is literally a masala entertainer. She is herself a commercial film. Sonam is actually really funny, and this is I think a side that people actually don't really know about her. But and Sonam's wit is that really sharp, acerbic, observational stuff.
Hey everyone, welcome to Filmfare OTT Showcase. And joining me today in the celebration of the first ever FLYX Filmfare OTT Awards is an actor whose talent really knows no limits. Please welcome the lovely Swara Bhasker. Hey Swara, how are you doing?
Hi, I'm doing very well.
Very nice to see you.
I'm tired but happy, which is always, I think, the best way to be. I think it's a feeling that we had forgotten during the pandemic. I'm very happy that things have started again, and I'm in the middle of promotions for my show, Bhaag Beanie Bhaag. So nice to be here. Nice to chat with you.
And obviously you'll be right. It's been quite a finally few hectic months for you because back-to-back shows and another show coming up. Suddenly this year, obviously you really impressed us with all your movies and your performances. But this year, 2020 is special because you came into the digital platforms like a storm. You had Flesh, you had Rasbhari, and then now you have Bhaag Beanie Bhaag. How has this journey been for you?
It's been amazing. So two ways. One, because of course, I had. So it's not my first time on digital or on OTT because I did have 2 seasons of It's Not That Simple on Voot, but I think that was at a time when the OTT itself was slowly blossoming, and of course it was a show that was very well received, very well liked. But that was over in 2018, along with V Ready Wedding, which is also my last release in 2018. And then 2019 was a year where actually I was in the news a lot, but not for films and not for my work, but for activism or protest or other stuff. So it was like suddenly 2019, I was like, I'm an actor. Do people remember that I'm an actor? And so it's great that 2020, which of course has been a bad year for the whole world, but like weirdly for me, work-wise, it's like, yeah, I've had these 3 releases all on premium platforms. Starting out with, of course, Amazon Prime, Flesh on Eros now, and Bhaag Beanie Bhaag on Netflix. So I'm feeling like, wow, this pandemic actually been really kind to me, and for whatever reason now, of course, the OTT has really come into itself as a platform. It has so many viewership is high at an all-time high, perhaps, and all my shows have done really well. All of them were distinct genres. All of them are different characters, very different from each other. So it's been a great. It's actually been great. I'm glad that people have remembered again and are getting to see me as an actor again.
Again, you're one of the very few people for whom this year is actually not going that bad.
Yeah, I know. I feel a little guilty sometimes, but then I'm like, what the hell, dude? The universe is kind to me.
Swara, the trailer, obviously, I saw it. It's really funny and it's so refreshing. But a lot of people have appreciated it. But a lot of people are also saying that, this is our Desi version of Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. What do you have to say about that?
So, of course, I'm ashamed to say that I have not watched Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. I must be amongst the few people in the world who hasn't watched Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. But I think that, look, at some level, comparisons are the most sort of knee-jerk, obvious reaction that you can have to something. I think the problem is really, and it's not even a problem, it's just that what it is that while now we have a lot more female-forward content out there, especially on OTT, the fact is that as a culture, as a film watching and as a content watching culture, we're not used to watching so much female forward content. We haven't watched it. That's the truth. I'm saying in the 100-year history of Bollywood, you can count on your fingertips how many centric films you have, right? So our knee-jerk reaction when we see the same character is to think it must be the same story and it must be the same thing. You never look at a Singham, what is that other one that has recently come out? Simba, or Khiladi, or like whatever, and say, oh, this is the same. All of them are cop action hero films. But you never in your head think, oh, this is basically that, this is basically that, that's basically. You never think that. You never look at a Dil Chahta Hai or a Zindagi Na Milegi Dobara. This Zindagi Na Milegi is Dil Chahta Hai is Sholay. Sholay is, because we never think like that, because we're okay with, hame lagta hai ki if it's a male centered film, if it's a hero centric film, that is what stories are. They're used to watching that content. So we don't make these knee-jerk comparisons, which is something actually that I think that happens a lot more with women-centric content. So I think that's what has happened with Marvelous Mrs. Maisel and this also. I'm not the right person to take this question because I'm not the creator, I'm not the writer of the show. But for me, this show, Bhaag Beanie Bhaag, is about stand-up comedy. It's a journey story about a girl who is basically goody two shoes, and she's a good Indian obedient girl. वो मम्मी पापा की बात मानती है. उसने आजीवन हाँ बोला है. उसकी मम्मी ने कुछ बोला कि बेटा घर आ जाना 6 बजे तक से, हाँ मम्मी. पापा ने बोला कि बेटा ये कपड़े पहन के मत जाओ, सलवार कमीज पहनो, हाँ पापा. बॉयफ्रेंड ने कुछ बोला कि अच्छा चलो शादी कर लेते हैं, हाँ बॉयफ्रेंड, like हाँ बेबी. So she has never said no. And the one time that she says no to other people and yes to something she wants, her whole life ulat pulat ho jati hai. That is actually the story. So it's actually, the stand-up comedy is just it's like a set piece. It's there, it's the setting, it's the location. That story could have been told in a different way, in any other way, right? So I think that I think that there's a lot more in it, and I actually, the nicest thing about Bhaag Beanie Bhaag for me is that I think it's a very universal and relatable story. I think that this conflict is very, very prevalent in our generation with girls and boys. The idea कि हम कुछ और करना चाहते हैं पर मम्मी पापा को समझ ही नहीं आ रहा, because उनके जमाने में वो ऑप्शन था ही नहीं करियर का. So they don't know, they're like है stand up क्या होता है, like या acting क्या होता है, या कोई एडवर्टाइजिंग में जाना चाहता है, कोई मॉडल बनना चाहता है, कोई ग्राफिक डिजाइनर बनना चाहता है, कोई फ्रीलांस कुछ और करना चाहता है. सो आई थिंक दिस करियर को लेके जो पेरेंट्स को समझ ही नहीं आता है, एंड देन द कंफ्यूजन, देन द बैलेंसिंग व्हाट योर पेरेंट्स वांट, व्हाट यू वांट, दिस इज वेरी रियल टू इंडियन किड्स and to young Indian people, and the parents track will be very relatable for parents. So I actually think that kids should watch this show with their parents. Like I'm gonna sit and watch it with my parents.
So obviously the show shows your character having a great comic timing, and I know you are also, our industry is also filled with really smart, funny women who, according to you, in our industry, your peers, have the best sense of humor.
I think that people that I've worked with, two girls who are hilarious are, one is Kareena. Kareena Kapoor is amongst the most entertaining and funny people that I have ever met. She is hilarious.
Like she doesn't have to do anything to be funny.
She doesn't have to try.
So natural.
Kareena is literally a masala entertainer. She is herself a commercial film. Like you can just sit and watch her talking. So Kareena is hilarious. I think Sonam is actually really funny, and this is, I think, a side that people actually don't really know about her. But and Sonam's wit is that really sharp, acerbic, observational stuff. Like I remember she's hilarious actually. I remember once we were on a flight for Veere the Wedding promotions, and I'd literally gone in pajamas and a sweatshirts on the flight. So Sonam looked at me and she's like, "Wow, Swara, really inspired me, You inspired me to make my fashion choices simpler." She looked at me and I was just like, "Oh my God, that's hilarious."
I can imagine her.
She's hilarious actually. She's a really sharp girl.
That's true.
She's a really sharp and funny girl. So yeah, these are the two people that I can off the top of my head think of hilarious amongst the women. Of course, Shah Rukh sir is the most amazing and funniest actor that I have met. Absolutely hilarious.
Thank you so much, Swara, for being part of Filmfare OTT Showcase. Very lovely chatting with you. And big luck and love for your upcoming shows and projects. And hope to see you very soon.
Thank you. Nice chatting.